What is going on, ladies and gentlemen of the holotables, and welcome back to another video with me, Bold Boy Scribe. How the devil are we all doing today? Well, last night, ladies and gentlemen, we had 2 kit reveals. Not 1, but 2 kit reveals for upcoming releases, and I thought we'd take some time and take a look at them. I've not looked at them yet. I've just had my notifications to say that kits are here, Forlom and the Stranger, our next conquest unit. Let's go check them out and see what shakes down. Here we have Forlom, the bug droid thingy mabob himself. He is a dark side support, leader, bounty hunter droid, and scoundrel. Good stuff. We may have some use here potentially then in an Afra team. Who knows? Haven't seen the kit yet, so we're going to see. He is Bug Boy. Confirmed. New debuff, corrupted translation, stacks up to 3 times and enables powerful lockdown effects. Inflicts a variety of other debuffs as well with his abilities. Synergizes with heavy dark side bounty hunters, especially Zuckuss, who's not in the game yet. So maybe he doesn't go in an Afra team. Inspiration. Forlom, the protocol droid trained bounty hunter turned bounty hunter, was known for his calculating nature and ability to interfere with computer systems, which translates into his corrupted translation mechanic representing electronic warfare capabilities. Hacking. Some would say because of his cunning and calculating nature, Forlom represents a dark mirror version of C-3PO. I thought the dark mirror version of C-3PO was 000. He seems like the evil 3PO, which also worked as key inspiration for corrupted translation. Him being a strategical partner of Zuckuss, we wanted Forlom to have some synergies with Zuckuss directly called out. The electromagnetic weaponry and his special ability, Relative Mercy, represents his upgraded combat systems from his transition to protocol droid to deadly bounty hunter. Alright. Strategy chips. Forlom's second special, Translation, Destroy. Inflicts unavoidable and unresistible corrupted translation debuff, which is the key to the success of this team. Forlom's contract can be completed by damaging enemies with corrupted translation. Okay. Use a mass assist from his first special, Relative Mercy, strategically to get the reward quickly and dominate the battlefield. Even though the second special has a high cooldown, it can be reduced with an unique ability, Override Programming. They're recommending speed and tenacity on this boy. How do you unlock him? Marquee event starting Tuesday, October 21st at 11 AM Pacific. Which characters are required for the Forlom event? No character is required except for Forlom himself. Will Forlom be required for Zuckuss's event? Sí, claro. Alright, good to know. Now, before we actually go into the rest of the kit, there is going to be an error battle for Forlom and Zuckuss as well, so that's going to be in 2 weeks' time, essentially, because this kit will come back, the character will be available on Tuesday. I'll be doing giveaways, either on a video or something soon-ish, TM, for it, and the week afterwards we should get the error battle for Forlom and Zuckuss. So, basic, destructive rotation. Does he rotate, though? There is 0 rotation involved. A slight rotation of the hips. It's just a step to the left. Anyway, final text. Deal special damage to the target enemy 4 times. Holy moly. Inflict them with defense down for 1 turn. During Forlom's turn, Darkside Bounty Hunter attackers stealth for 2 turns. Okay, I'm guessing Zuckuss is going to be an attacker. Relative Mercy, a cooldown of 4. Let's have a look at it. Ooh, big shocky gun thing. Did he steal that one from Jocasta New? I'm not sure. Final text. Dispel buffs and deal special damage to the target enemy and shock them for 2 turns, which can't be evaded. If the target enemy was stunned, inflict vulnerable on all enemies for 2 turns. Enemies with 3 stacks of corrupted translation are inflicted with ability block for 1 turn, which can't be resisted. Not too bad. Call other non-galactic legend dark side bounty hunter allies to assist. If they were support, they assist again. Ooh, that's quite cool. That is quite cool. Special 2, Translation, Destroy. A cooldown of 8 is rather large. Looks like he does a big old scanny scan over there. Final text. Dispel all debuffs on all bounty hunter allies and they recover 30% health and protection. Not bad, kind of reminds me of Grief Karga's second special. Inflict all enemies with a stack of corrupted translation for 3 turns, which can't be copied, evaded, or resisted. Negative effects based on the cumulative number of stacks, so similar to translation or confusion even. 1. Receive true damage whenever they deal a critical hit. This damage. So if an enemy that's got corrupted translation, when they hit you, if they crit you, they're going to take true damage. That's interesting. If they've got 2 stacks, whenever they start their turn, each enemy team... Ooh, the enemy team gains 10% turn meter. And that's not restricted to bounty hunters, so there's definitely some synergy there that we can throw in things like an Afra team, you know. Whenever the enemy takes a turn, 10% turn meter for your team. That's kind of nice. Okay, minus 30% health at 3 stacks. Galactic Legends raid bosses lose 30% tenacity, which is, yeah. Obviously, they're not going to lose their health. So, leadership, cold calculations, final text. Bounty Hunter allies have 50% potency and tenacity. Whenever a Bounty Hunter ally inflicts a debuff, they recover 5% health. Whenever an enemy critically hits a Bounty Hunter ally, that ally recovers 10% health and protection. See, this is interesting. This feels like a complete replacement for Bosk, just in general. He's obviously got a lot of survivability in his team. That's what he's kind of built around. If there are no enemy Galactic Legends, whenever an enemy gains a bonus turn meter, Bounty Hunter allies gain 10% offense and potency, and 5 speed, a maximum of 40 until the end of the encounter. That's also pretty good. But only applies if there are no enemy Galactic Legends. There's a lot of teams that gain bonus turn meter. So having a stacking offense and potency, even if it's to a maximum of 80%, and additional speed is really good. When Forlom is in the leader slot and not the ally slot, the following contract is active. Deal damage with an attack to enemies with corrupted translation 20 times. His basic, don't forget, hits 4 times, so he would only really have to hit an enemy with himself on a basic 4 times. 5 times rather, sorry. Enemies must be debuffed with corrupted translation before the start of the attack to count progress. And the reward is all Bounty Hunter allies have their payouts activated, and all Bounty Hunter allies have their cooldowns reset and gain 50% potency for the rest of the battle. It's quite nice, it's okay. Cooldown reset is always good. Then his unique override programming, a Zeta and an Omicron. Forlom has 30% additional potency. If there are no Galactic Legends, whenever another Bounty Hunter ally attacks out a turn, Forlom is going to assist once per turn. That's quite nifty. Quite like that unique. Whenever Forlom attacks an enemy with accuracy down... Is that Cad Bane? It is Cad Bane! And Cad Bane is a dark side support bounty hunter, so he's going to assist again on that mass assist. So it looks like Cad Bane is finding himself a home. At the start of battle, if Zuckuss is an ally, all non-Galactic Legend Bounty Hunter allies gain 30% additional max health and protection. That's quite good. Whenever an enemy with corrupted translation has their turn meter manipulated, Forlom gains 25% turn meter once per turn. Nice. Whenever an enemy with 3 stacks of corrupted translation ends their turn, Forlom gains 50% turn meter. He has got a lot of turn meter generation. And he's got a TB on me, which means we can safely ignore it. At the start of battle, Bounty Hunter allies gain 100% offense and max health. Whenever an enemy with 3 stacks of corrupted translation ends their turn, Forlom gains an additional 50% turn meter. So he's going to gain 100% turn meter. If there were no Galactic Legend allies at the start of battle, whenever a Bounty Hunter ally starts their turn, they gain bonus protection of 50%, stacking for 2 turns. Okay, I mean, most people are not going to apply this one in particular. It's not nearly powerful enough to be like, yeah, let's do it, I feel, at face value, and most people won't do TB Ommies anyway, but, you know, at least it is there. That's about the best thing that I can say to it. Yeah. Contract, Forlom's payout. Whenever Forlom receives rewards from a contract, he gains the following payout. He gains 100% potency until the end of battle, and when he uses Translation Destroy, he inflicts an additional 2 stacks of corrupted translation for 3 turns. See, that's nice, because it immediately puts them at triple stacks of corrupted translation, which gives you all of the good benefits of it. So his payout is pretty decent. I thought there was a way to decrease cooldowns. Where was that? Whenever Forlom attacks an enemy with accuracy down, he reduces his cooldowns by 1. So that's how you're going to sort of get that translation, corrupted translation down, is you need to have accuracy down, which means you need Cad Bane, unless we get another access to accuracy down from a bounty hunter, which I don't think there is currently. No, funnily enough, Cad Bane is the only bounty hunter that's got it, but Aphra does have accuracy down. So there is a little bit of synergy there again, which is quite cool. So maybe there is some sort of stuff that you can do here. Not too bad. Okay, cool. Let's go and take a look at the Stranger. So here is the Stranger himself. He's lost his helmet, but he does still have the Kurtosis bracer over there. Alignment Dark, he's an attacker, a leader, and a Sith. Each active ability has the opportunity to instantly defeat every ability? Well, we're setting the tone, I feel, with this particular character straight away. Kurtosis armor provides a potent effect that enemies should avoid. Grand Arena Omicrons provide the Stranger and his Acolyte... CG, what are we doing? with significant action economy. Okay. Watching Khmer reveal himself as Sith while systematically dismantling a group of Jedi was such a fantastic moment. We knew he needed to be added to the game. I mean, let's be honest. Like it or lump it with The Acolyte as a TV show. At least his fight scenes were pretty cool, and that's about it. The rest of the show was the opposite of pretty cool. Was that, right? It was just kind of bad. But I suppose Khmer was the only saving grace. The stranger was looking for a pupil, an acolyte. So this led to him having to lead the team with the most powerful apprentice, Starkiller. He's stealing Starkiller. He is stealing Starkiller. Okay, I'm hoping that we're not looking to also... It's not gonna steal Malicos as well, is he? Let's see how this goes. Alongside other strong students like Barriss Offee, Visas Ma, unaligned Force users, she's a Jedi. This feels like, oh, of course, it's Starkiller. Yeah, triggering Starkiller's unique. And redacted. Oh, God, no. Oh, no. We're going to get May, aren't we? We're going to get May. Okay. The power of Ketosis through his helmet and gauntlet are represented in the new buff that reactively dismantles the enemy as they attack the stranger. His ability names, an Acolyte destroys the dream, and was that its name? Are direct quotes from the stranger in the Acolyte. Peace is a lie from the Sith Code, yes. Bring in the appropriate team comp to fully unlock Stranger's power. Utilize active abilities to increase his stats, and he has the potential for significant speed and turns so he can punish those slower opponents. Speed set and crit chance set. How do you unlock him? Next conquest starting in, 2 weeks? Why is there a reference to Fracture in his kit? I mean, the stranger is taking Emperor Palpatine's spot in the Starkiller squad, so there must be someone else coming to the slot where Mara Jade used to be. He's the Sith. You need a dark side unaligned Force user. It's totally going to be May. Dark side unaligned Force user. I can't remember if May does anything. She's got a Force choke. Maybe they're going to have that as a fracture. How do the benefits of the Omicron on an Acolyte kills the dream trigger? Each enemy at the start of battle, not including summons during their battle phase, must have fallen below full health at least once. Then the full benefits of the Omicron will be available. Okay. Benefits for defeating an enemy and massively overpowered. How does the bonus damage from taking a turn before the enemy work? When the stranger completes his turn, if the enemy has not taken their turn, then the stranger will deal bonus true damage to them until they take their turn. In the Omicron mode, game mode, the turns can stack, but not new instances of damage. The player will only see one instance of damage for both modes, but in the Omicron mode, that number can scale up. Okay, so his basic is Peace is a Lie. Let's see the animation. It's decent enough. The helmet looks kind of funky, I'll be honest, not in a good way. Alright, final text. Deal physical damage to the target enemy and dispel all debuffs on the stranger. Cool. Cleanse on a basic. During his turn, gain 50 speed the first time this ability is used, and 1 speed plus 1 per relic amplifier level to a maximum of 10. Relic 10, yay. So first time he uses it, on his turn, he's going to gain 50 speed. Then he's going to gain up to, essentially, 11 speed per turn. Each subsequent use to a max of 50 triggers. 50 times. 50. What? 50. Hold up. Hold up. He can gain 600 speed. He can gain 600 base speed. That is absurd. I doubt you go to a match where he has 50 triggers there. Unless he's taking a turn after every turn. During his turn, if the stranger has 250 speed more than the target enemy, instantly defeat that target enemy once per battle, which can't be evaded. Yeah, you're definitely going to want boatloads of speed on this guy as fast as possible. 250 speed, if you've got him at Relic 10, which obviously you're going to want to have this guy at Relic 10, right? So 250 speed minus the 50 you get from the first time, and then divide that by 11. That's only 18 turns before you'll gain 250 on top of his basic. That's still quite a lot of turns, to be honest. Because it only happens during his turn. Yeah. That's still scary because, you know, he could go to a tank and you can just basic a tank and kill it. That is terrifying, dude. Special 1. An Acolyte kills the dream. Let's have a look. Ah, that's from his fight against Master Soul. It's kind of a cool animation. I like it. Final text. Deal physical damage to the target enemy and the stranger gains perfect defense for 1 turn, which can't be copied, dispelled, or prevented. Nice. Perfect defense means you take 1 damage from the next hit. Call all dark side unaligned force user acolytes. Acolyte allies to assist? He doesn't have that. Yeah, there's no acolyte tag. So why are they calling them acolyte allies? That they're going to add the acolyte tag. Gain 50% max health the first time this ability is used, and 5% max health each subsequent use, stacking. So cooldown of 5 there. For the rest of the battle, inflict all enemies with tenacity down for 2 turns, and all enemies with less than full health are exposed for 1 turn. This first paragraph is insanely powerful. So it is a physical damage attack that gives you perfect defense, which you can't be prevented. Then he calls all Darkside Unaligned Force user Acolyte allies to assist. Then he gains 50% max health and an additional 5% max health every other time he uses it. Then he inflicts the entire enemy team with tenacity down for 2 turns, and if they had less than full health, they get exposed, and we're only halfway through the ability. If there is only 1 enemy remaining, the Darkside Unaligned Force user Acolytes instantly defeat the target enemy on assist once per battle, which can't be evaded. Well, at least it's only once per battle. And it would be right at the end. So you get to 1 last guy standing and you're just like, I'm going to use this and you're going to die. I mean, that instant defeat there is almost an afterthought, I feel. Because you're eventually probably going to be more, faster than the target enemy and you'll kill him on a basic with the insta-kill there. Or is this only once per turn? Is the basic insta-kill only once per turn? Ah, yes, okay. It's only once per battle. Alright, okay. Feel a little bit more comfortable about it, but it's still ridiculously strong. Okay, while in Grand Arena, and if all allies are Acolyte. If all enemies have fallen below 100% health at least once in this encounter, the stranger gains massively overpowered for 1 turn. Okay, which can't be copied, dispelled, or prevented. Massively overpowered just means you do 99,999 as additional true damage. If this ability defeats an enemy, revive all Acolyte allies, then all Acolyte allies recover full health and protection. That's a pretty powerful one. Pretty powerful. Special 2, was that its name? Cooldown of 5. Let's take a look. So, poke, poke, poke. That's how he killed Jackie. Oh, and then it looks like he assists him. He must attack again afterwards because it's his basic afterwards, right? Yeah, because that's the basic animation. The first part of the GIF is special 2. Yeah, okay. Deal physical damage to the target enemy and the stranger gains retribution for 1 turn, which can't be dispelled or prevented. Okay. Stun the target enemy for 1 turn. And if all allies are Acolytes, stun the weakest enemy for 1 turn, which can't be evaded or resisted. Okay. He's going to gain retribution. He's going to stun for 1 turn, and if all allies were Acolyte, then stun the weakest enemy, so it's a 2-person stun. Can't be evaded, can't be resisted. Then he's gaining 50% defense penetration the first time it's used, and 5%. Oh, wow, he just ramps so much. And it ignores protection. And all other Acolyte allies are going to gain 10% turn meter. If this ability was used a 3rd time against the same opponent, this encounter instantly defeat the target enemy once per battle, which can't be evaded. If the ability instantly defeats an enemy, all enemies are demoralized for 2 turns, which can't be copied, dispelled, evaded, or resisted. That is the debuff that we see from OG Moff Gideon that reduces all damage output by 50%. Powerful, powerful active abilities. Unique one. You might call me Sith. Zeta and Omicron. Final text. The stranger has got 35% additional offense the first time each enemy damages the stranger. Excluding summoned units, he gains 100% turn meter. Okay. Yeah, so the first time you hit him, he's like, my turn. Whenever the stranger uses an ability, he deals bonus true damage to the target enemy equal to 10% of his max health if he has taken a turn before his enemies. I'm not quite sure how that works. This bonus damage value is reset on each enemy whenever they start their turn. Okay. Fine. Whenever the stranger uses a special ability, he calls himself to assist and gains Cortosis armor, which can't be copied, for 1 turn until he's damaged by an enemy's ability, which can't be copied. While the stranger has Cortosis armor, he's immune to turn meter reduction. That's quite handy. In Grand Arena Army, whenever an enemy attacks the stranger from an assist, stranger gains a bonus turn. Oh, okay, this one is insanely powerful. At the start of the encounter, the stranger can't have his speed reduced below his base speed for the rest of the battle. Okay, so no Jedi Knight Luke. Lead. The first time the stranger is reduced to 25% health, he equalizes his health and protection with the strongest enemy. Okay, I don't think we've seen equalizing with the enemy. That's quite cool. Whenever the stranger uses an ability that deals bonus true damage to the target enemy... uses an ability, he deals bonus true damage to the target enemy equal to 10% of his max health for each turn he has taken before his enemies, stacking, which can't be evaded. That's kind of cool, because he's going to be gaining a lot of bonus turns, so you're probably going to be wanting to bounce between characters. I wonder if he can ignore taunt. Bounce between characters, so, this bonus turn, for example, that he gets, or the first time he gets hit, you're going to want to be targeting people that haven't taken turns. He's going to kill things so quickly. So quickly. This bonus value is reset when they start their turn. Cortosis armor. If this character is damaged by an enemy ability, whilst they have this effect, the enemy who damaged them loses all of their protection and 25% speed for 1 turn. Does not stack with speed down. Okay. So Cortosis is very good. Loses all of their protection. I'm unclear if this is like protection disruption for 1 turn, or if they literally just lose all their protection. Because that could really destroy certain units, like Gungans, for example. Leadership. I want a pupil. All allies gain 50% accuracy. That's interesting. Whenever an enemy attacks out of turn, reduce the cooldown of, was that its name, by 1. 2 if the enemy was a Jedi. Okay. That's kind of like what goes on with the punishing one, right? At the start of battle, if there are no Galactic Legend allies, and the stranger has exactly 1 Jedi, 1 Light Side Unaligned Force user, and 2 Dark Side Unaligned Force user allies, we're definitely getting May, aren't we? All allies gain the Acolyte tag. There we go. I was wondering why it was kept calling the Acolyte tag. And the following effects are active. Whenever an ally attacks out of turn, reduce the cooldown of an Acolyte Kills the Dream by 1. I can't help but feel like, why would we not just right now be throwing in, Malicos? Whenever an ally has a buff dispelled, the enemy that dispelled it can only recover health or protection for 1 turn. No, okay. Can't recover health or protection for 1 turn. That's kind of cool. That's kind of a neat effect, to be honest. At the start of each turn, allies have a 100% crit chance when they have protection. Otherwise, they have 100% defense. Okay. I mean, 100% defense is really good. 100% crit chance. It's nice to crit and stuff, obviously, but most things these days will crit. Whenever a dark side ally is inflicted with a debuff, the stranger and light side allies gain 10% turn meter once per turn. I guess they want Barriss to go in this team because it is a replacement Starkiller team, essentially. So Barriss gaining additional turn meter, she can cleanse on the basic and fully heal, or health equalize and put defense up and stuff. Okay, whenever a light side ally is critically hit, dark side allies gain 10% turn meter. That's scary. Whenever an ally assists, dispel all debuffs on the ally they are assisting. That's really cool. And then you've also had, whenever an ally has a buff dispelled, no, not that one. Whenever an ally attacks out of turn, reduce the cooldowns of an Acolyte Kills the Dream. Okay, right. Whenever an ally counterattacks, inflict the target enemy with defense down for 1 turn. That's really good as well. And finally, in GAC, whenever an Acolyte ally counterattacks, inflict the target enemy with armor shred for the rest of the encounter once per turn. Whenever an enemy is fractured, all enemies lose 100% turn meter, which can't be resisted. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. So we're definitely, well, I say definitely, we're probably going to be getting May as a dark side unaligned force user. She's going to have something with fracture. Whenever an Acolyte ally takes damage from the enemy on consecutive turns, they gain a bonus turn. Okay, whenever this bonus turn occurs, that ally can't gain another bonus turn this way until taking damage from an enemy on consecutive turns again. Enemies deal 35% less damage when attacking an Acolyte from an assist. That's useful. In 3v3, if the team includes 2 dark side unaligned force users, this will fulfill the conditions of the Acolyte tag. Okay. Alright. Insane levels of power. Insane levels of power. Lots of insta-kill. hits absolute home run with Forlorn and Zuckus, actually listening to the player base, then proceeds to bow to Kathleen Kennedy and give us an Acolyte tune. Please, for the love of the Force, let it be the only tune for that god-awful show. Oh my god. There's nothing wrong with the show, it's just a toxic fan base. Learn to appreciate something new. There's plenty to dislike about this show. Let's stay away from ad hominem. Let's stay away from, making blanket statements one way or the other, shall we? Because, we have to be able to be critical about things. Okay, so those two kits are pretty good. Stranger's one is insane. It definitely feels like they're going to release in May. I'm hoping we don't get the rest. But hey, maybe they'll do some sort of High Republic tag and we'll get Osha and maybe we'll get Jackie and we'll get Sol and... Oh, I don't really want that to be the next era, but hey, maybe that's what's going to be the next era. Who knows? Let me know your thoughts on a postcard down in the comment section down below. And I will see you all in the very next video. Peace out, and may the Force be with you.